Hello, welcome everybody. Let me just make sure I'm live. It's Wednesday, November 8th at 10 a.m. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? I believe, I'm just gonna verify, but I believe I'm live now. Let me just quickly check, but I believe I'm live now. I think I am. Well, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see the live. Please drop me a comment, say hi. Let me know where you are watching from. That would be fantastic so I can see where you are tuning in from. I am actually from Canada. I'm in the west coast of British Columbia, beautiful British Columbia. So I live in Canada. Drop me a line, let me know where you are watching from. And thank you for those of you that are watching from Europe. I know it's late night for you, so I appreciate you making some time to be here. I'm really happy to be here. I just want to double check if you can please send me a note, a comment, just making sure I'm live. I'm gonna quickly double check on my phone to make sure that you can hear me. I would, yes, I believe I'm there. So, okay, perfect. No, you didn't want to hear that. Okay, perfect. So, here I am. A little bit about myself. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Who I am. Well, I'm Veronica Herfindahl. I just told you I'm in the west coast of beautiful British Columbia, Canada. I am a fun-loving mom of a very active, very strong and determined 10-year-old little girl. She's not a little girl anymore. I tell her she's always going to be my baby, but she's not a little girl anymore. She's 10 years old, passionate about gymnastics, super into exercising, and I love going with her and being part of her life every minute I can. So I'm also a very loving mom of a dog. I have a dog, so here I am. Now that's in the personal, on the personal side. I love nature, eating healthy, and exercising. I'm all into healthy habits. So that's a little bit more about me at the personal level. Now, in the professional side, well, I've worked in marketing and communications for over 20 years for the corporate world, telecommunication companies, not for profit. I've done advertising agency, you name it. I've done it for 20 plus years. And the past 3 years specifically, I've been learning all different type of strategies and programs to launch online. These past 3 years, I've learned from Jeff Walker and many other gurus that are in the marketing field, just learning their different approaches, taking the training courses, going to masterminds, learning and absorbing knowledge from different mindsets. And why? Because I like to have a variety of elements that I can use to determine what works for me. And that's what I've been doing for the past 3 years in the professional side, learning from those that have more experience in the online portion of marketing and customizing and tweaking things to make it work for me. That's what I've been doing. Now, what do I do right now? Who do I work with? Who do I help? I do help specifically mompreneurs to get more clients without sacrificing their personal life. Why do I say without sacrificing the personal life? I've seen it in these past 3 years, and I've seen it in my experience also in the corporate world, that many of us, moms and non-moms, this applies to all people in general, spend a lot of time at work and making a living. And I find that if you don't love what you do, if you're not able to find what fits with you, what goes well with you, it's hard. It's really hard. So what I've been doing these past 3 years, going back to that, is getting the knowledge that I need to tweak and customize things that work for me. because I love my job and I want to be happy and I want to be fulfilled every single day doing it. So for that reason, I decided to work and help mompreneurs to get more clients. Also, because I find that many people struggle with the fact of how to get more clients. And that's the very reason why this time I'm going to be talking about the importance of niching down. But before I do so, do me a favor and drop me a comment if you are listening or tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to give a minute or so to get it started for those that are just tuning in. And I'm just going to, if you see me here, it's my phone. I just want to make sure that the video is live. And yeah, then we can get started. I know some of you mentioned that you weren't going to be able to make it live, and that's okay too. You can also watch the replay now. If you are watching live, please drop me a comment, say hashtag live, and if you're watching the repeat, then please do so and just hashtag replay, and then I'll know that you watch it later on. But that's okay. Well, I'm gonna get going. I see that I am live, and I'm just gonna start talking about the importance of niching down. And why did I choose niching down? Why was that a specific topic that I decided to do? The reason is because I firmly believe that any and most of the approach that we have to sell online, to make a business online, they work. They do work. Um, I do have preference in terms of what type of approach, marketing approach, formula, plan, strategy we use. Yes, I do have preference, but I tell you that I find, and in the past 3 years, and even more so, that I found that they all work. But here is the catch: they do not all work for everybody. For the for the reasons that I was explaining earlier, we are different. We have different likes, styles, values, missions. We have different aspects that allow us to be more comfortable working in one type of approach or another type of approach. So for that reason, I find that yes, they all work. There is always somebody that would make a program, a formula, a plan, marketing strategy work, but that doesn't mean they work for everyone. However, one thing that I see in every single training program, formula, mastermind, every single time that I've been privileged to be in a group with many people, particularly women and moms, I've noticed that the biggest struggle they have is getting clients. And why is that? I think what I've noticed the most is we try to talk to everybody. We want to reach as many people as possible. That's what we do in life because we want to be there. We want to reach as many people as possible. And in doing so, we trick our mind to think that the more people we talk to, the more people will get as a prospects or as a clients or as a dream clients. Here is the thing. This is a simple marketing principle, but it's a very hard to wrap your head around. The more people, when you talk, the more people you talk to, when you talk to everybody, you end talking to no one. And why is that? It's simple. When we talk within a specific language, within a specific approach, people resonate to what you say or not. It's as simple as that. I'm sure you have seen it in this beautiful group with almost a million women. That there are posts that you resonate to with, and there are posts that really they don't do the same thing to you, right? Why is that? Because we're talking with a specific language, with a specific approach, that it's only interested for certain type of people because we are all different, right? So here is what happens when you try to talk to everybody. And I'm going to use an example just to make it a little bit more clear so I don't talk. Let's say that you're a photographer and you are a very talented photographer, right? You have taken many training courses, you also took some art, and you love photography, right? And you're so talented that you really have developed your skills in many different areas, right? You have done wedding photography and you love it, you're passionate about the energy, the environment, what comes with it, you love it, right? But you have also done some family photography. That's kind of interesting. It's always fun to work with the entire family to make sure you get them to, you know, in a harmonious setting and everybody's happy and working with the kids, making sure that they smile, they don't cry, they don't kick, they don't scream, and so on, right? But you also had a time when you were taking your training that you were so good at product photography, right? So you will grab even a simple glass of water and make a beautiful photo out of it. You did some, I don't know, maybe perhaps some ads for food chain, and you took fabulous product photography, right? You even got to take pictures of beautiful, some guess, trailer trucks, for you had a client and they did food distribution. So you have these beautiful photos of a trailer truck. I think you start seeing where I'm trying to get to. We you're a photographer, you're talented, and you can consider yourself very lucky to be good at many different areas of photography. What happened when you have a website? What are you going to put on your website? What are you going to promote? Well, you really like weddings, right? So you will say that you're a wedding photographer, but you also do family portraits and family studios, photos, and so on. And then, well, but you also have done some product photography for advertising. So why not putting it there, part of your portfolio? And you have a banner, you're using the best space on your website, the best real estate, I like to call it, which is above the fold, which means just what you see without scrolling down, right? The first thing that people will see. Well, what happens is um, you get there and you have a banner and you have your wedding photography, you have your product photography, you also have some kids, and maybe you have a little bit more of the wedding stuff because that's what you like, but you're talking to everybody. You're talking to the groom to be, the bride to be, most likely, um, and and you're talking to the one that is already married, the one that is already raising a family, right? And and you're also talking to the ad agency that may need a photographer in the future with your ads, with your photographer, right? So what happened is the language that you use in your website or whatever, I just use website to use an example, but this applies for social media, for email marketing, for the content that you use on social. Um, the let's look at that's what you do, right? Because you're a generalist and you can do a lot of different things that do them well. Well, let's think about the other side of the equation. Your customer, your potential customer, your dream client, best fit client, however you want to call it. Let's put ourselves in their shoes. I'm gonna be I'm the bride to be. I'm gonna get married and I'm so excited. I'm so passionate about my wedding. By the way, that wasn't me. I'm not that type of person, but I'm gonna pretend for a minute. Everything has to be perfect. I want a big wedding. I want 200 people. I'm gonna get a special food cater and I'm gonna have this and that. And I'm so excited. And I'm planning my wedding 2 years from now, right? So I'm planning my wedding 2 years ahead of time or a year ahead of time. Most people do in terms of renting a venue or so on. Again, I was never been that person, but that's a different story. right now I'm that person, right? So I'm gonna get married in a year and I need everything to be perfect. And one of the things that I'm gonna do once I have the venue, I have set the day and so on, I'm gonna look for the perfect wedding photographer, right? So I'm gonna go to the website and I find Veronica or Tammy and I'm gonna go into their website. Somebody told me she's a very good wedding photographer, and I'm gonna go to her website. And guess what? The first thing that I happen to see, it's a beautiful hamburger or a truck. As as a bride to be, I don't even care about kids just yet. I'm just getting married, and it's my special day, and it's something that I'm looking forward to. I want the perfect wedding photographer. And guess what is going to happen if I go to your website that you're a fantastic, very talented mompreneur that can do many different type of photography. Because you have different type of messages, images that speak to different type of people, when I get there and I get to see something else that is not full, a website that is not full of wedding images, I'm not gonna be able. I'm not gonna stay. I'm just gonna go, and it just takes very few seconds. People say between 3 and 8. I honestly don't think it's more than 5 seconds for somebody to land on a website and leave if they don't see what they're looking for. So this is to give you an example of why it's important to niche down. Why it's important to define specifically who do you want to talk to. Now, am I saying become a wedding photographer and if they call you up 2 years after the wedding and say, hey, can't you do my family shots? I'm not saying you gotta say no, forget it. All I do is weddings. You're not gonna turn people down. What the key is to be able to constantly, frequently, but more importantly, constantly talk to the same persons. You're gonna hear me talking here about um, dream clients, niching down, and everything to do to get a to do with getting a specific about who you talk to. But you're gonna see me talking exclusively to talented and mission-driven mompreneurs. Why? Because I have decided that I want to work with mompreneurs that align to my values, that value the same things that I do, and that we have things in common, that we have things alike, that make us relate and make it easier to work with. So, can I be helping professionals, professional men in the corporate world with a strategy and marketing? Yes, I can. But I'm not going to do it because I'm going to concentrate my efforts into working with mompreneurs that have a mission in the world and they want to impact their corner of the world. I want to support that. So I'm going to concentrate in that specific aspect. So the same thing goes for the photographer. They're going to concentrate into talking to, let's say that is the groom to be, the bride to be, right? It's mainly the women that end doing all the wedding stuff, right? In some cases, not all the time. I agree. So I'm going to talk to her. And what that is going to do, it's all my communication, all my messages. It doesn't matter if it's an email, a social media post, if it's a live on a Facebook group, it doesn't matter what it is. All my communication is going to be specifically for that person that is getting married in a year or 2 or 6 months from now, specifically to them. So guess what? My images are only going to showcase my talent as my talented portfolio as a wedding photographer. And when you go to, let's say that you choose to also have Instagram, that by the way, I'm not the type of person that would recommend to be everywhere every time. Same thing applies to choosing media. But let's say that besides having a website, you also have an Instagram account because it makes sense. Because photography is what you do, and Instagram is the best place to showcase that type of thing. Well, the same thing is going to go into your Instagram account. You're going to be talking specifically to brides to be. Why? Because you know what they need, you know what they are thinking, you know what they're looking for, and you have something for them to offer. So instead of turning them away by talking to everybody, and when they get there, it's like, I really don't care about this part of photography. I really don't. Um, don't turn them away by talking to everybody. Talk specifically to one person. And how do you start doing that? By niching down. Let me give you another example. Give me just 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the comments. Want to make sure you can still see me. I believe you can, so that's fine. I'm really happy to hear. Well, so I'm going to give you another example. Why it's important to niche down. Why it's so critical to do so. Well, let's say that you help, let's use the term entrepreneurs for fun. But no, let's not niche down just yet. Let's say that you help people lose weight. Fabulous. I'm all up for that because honestly, in the world that we live right now, there are a lot of people that would benefit from that. I was one of them. I got help a couple of years ago because it was a constant struggle and I wanted to be healthy. So, good example. You have the ability because either you have gone through or because you are a holistic nutritionist or you're a specialist, you name it. But you have the knowledge, the ability to help people to lose weight. And you have helped several different type of people lose weight in the past years, right? So it's simple. You know you're going to help people to lose weight. Okay, but who are you going to help? Like, if you go out there in the market and compete with every single product, service, coach that are offering losing weight as a result, you are going to be in an ocean full of predators. Everybody's trying to compete for the same, for a piece of the same market. Why? Why? You don't need to do that. The market is so big and there is so many fishes in the ocean. Why trying to compete with everybody, talking to everybody? What if I tell you that, well, you're a woman, you're a mompreneur, and you, you kind of get along more with girls. Nothing wrong with getting along with guys either, but in your experience, based on how people lose weight different, you realize that the way that um, age affects women or men to lose weight is different, right? Maybe men have faster metabolism. And by the way, I know nothing about what I'm saying in terms of losing weight, just my own experience, but I'm just going to use things as an example, right? So you know that there are differences between how the struggles that women have and the struggles that men have. So right off the bat, you're better off choosing, are you going to be helping men or are you going to be helping women, right? Okay, let's say we're going to be helping women. And you may say, yep, I've niched down. I'm gonna, or niche, depending on which part of the world you're at. And I'm gonna help women lose weight. Yeah, but there are a million of programs and many different approaches for women to lose weight. Well, what about keto? Is it keto going to be or paleo or paleo? Um, what type of? No, no, no. I'm not into keto, so it's not going to be that. So, what is it that is different that you offer from the rest of the people around? How do I niche down even further than just saying, well, I help women lose weight? Mm, so many others do. So, how about if I target specifically women in their 30s, which, maybe after 30 is harder to lose that weight. And what if I target women in their 30s and go a little further down that just had babies? Or so I'm not going longer from just men instead of women. I'm talking to women that are moms that are in their 30s and their kids are still young. So they're busy, they don't have a lot of time, they're pretty busy, maybe in their careers, maybe stay at home moms. You get to decide. But let's take stay at home moms for conversation's sake, and I'm very aware of the time over here. I want to give you some time to ask questions if you do have some. So let's take that mom and let's say that there's the stay-at-home mom. So instead of saying, well, I help people lose weight, well, you can say, I help stay-at-home moms in their 30s to lose that baby belly that they have after having a couple of kids. What if it's so specific that that those moms, even though they're quite active, even though they're stay at home, you and I know that they work a lot, sometimes even more at home than what they do in their offices if they happen to be in an office. But this specific case, you're talking to stay at home moms. They're super active, running around with kids and so on. And they may or may not have 30 pounds to lose, but that there are some, that there are many that have this little baby belly and they don't like it. They want to get rid of it. So now you're talking to somebody very, very particular, somebody in particular, very specific. We went from losing weight, helping people lose weight, to helping women, to helping moms, to helping stay-at-home moms, to helping stay-at-home moms that have some belly fat that they can't seem to get rid of, and how frustrated they are, how little time they have to actually learn and execute something that is sustainable. You see what I'm doing? Now, don't worry. The fact that you're niching down and going to a specific level, yes, you're talking to less people, I agree. But keep in mind, in this group, we're talking to almost 1 million women in the world. The only common element, we're women, we're entrepreneurs or businesswomen, and we speak English. There are 1 million of people out there that could have and would have the problem that you help them solve. And you don't need 1 million people to make a business, a sustainable business, a business that allows you also to maintain a harmonious life around you. So don't worry about niching down. Don't ever be concerned about, am I going to have enough people? Just think for a second. From going here to going here, the advantage of doing that, even if you're talking technically to less people, yes, you're still talking to a lot of people. There's still a lot of them out there. Now, here is quickly what the difference is going to be. The way that you would have talked to the 60-year-old men that have, let's say, the same belly, but this is going to be beer belly, drinking belly, cream coffee belly, or whatever it is. Can you imagine the language that you would use to talk to this 60-year-old man that wants to lose that belly fat, and the language that you would use for this mom, stay-at-home mom, that wants to lose that baby fat in their belly? Would you use the same language? Would you be interested in hearing the same things? Absolutely no. And that is the key and the importance of niching down. But you need to be able to talk to a very specific group of people. That's when you niche down. You're still talking to the group, but not to everybody, to a very niche or niche, depending on where you are in the world, audience. And that's the way your communication start being more effective, because at least you know who you're talking to, how they talk, what do they worry about, what do they want, what do they drink, What can you solve for them? What are they looking for? Anyhow, I'm getting to the time here. I wanted to leave some time for questions, but I don't know if it's my computer or the system over here, but I don't see any questions over here. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm Veronica Herfindahl. As I said, I like to call myself a marketing strategist, and I help talented, passion-driven mompreneurs to get more clients without sacrificing their personal life and what they love the most. Nice to see you all. Talk to you soon. Take care. Ciao, ciao.